Well, there's a few things. We decide which game we're gonna do, and then also depending which one, there's a few rules.
Didn't we say Tricky Towers? And
No,
it
no,
was
no,
the other
not the
game we didn't
game.
decide on yet.
So which one? I mean, which one of the two games did you want to do?
Innisphere? Innisphere?
It might be babying.
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 Dun, 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 dun. I hate X. We didn't start yet. We're waiting for the amazing Innisphere to arrive.
Jump back in the party.
I love the music in this game.
Back.
Welcome back, dear.
Okay, we're just saying which games you want to do.
Sorry, again, please.
Saying which one of the two games did you want to do?
Fine with any.
So which game do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm fine with any of them. So we can do both of them, or we can start off with the one you like to do.
Is anyone gonna
decide.
invite to the game?
I got
Send the
invite.
invites.
Did you send it? Yeah? Okay. I'm gonna join then. Do it,
Game
Ned.
charades then? Game charades?
The other one.
Game charades.
The other one.
The
bad thing you have to talk about.
Depending of the topic.
well, or charades. I don't care which one of them.
Depending of the topics, I think that's a nice one.
Okay.
I think Blazing should decide who has the first one, and
So we need
decide.
to rotate. So I'll give one to Enosphere. Enosphere will give one to Nat. Nat will give one to me. When we've done a set of 3, then it can obviously be done. Oh, by the way, you might want to click. Okay, so do you want to start and then we can get going? Wait, I suppose some of the rules are just don't pick things that are broken. I.e., don't turn around and be like, oh, try and defend broken servers, because that's not a feature. You've got to pick something which the devs have put into the game, which was bad. Like, there's lots of things.
But what is it? Let us rephrase a bad mechanic. Is it a mechanic that you find bad yourself, or is it an overall bad mechanic? Because bad mechanic
Either.
is kind of.
No,
Oh,
either.
shit!
If you personally think it's bad, then you can describe it, and you either might screw the other person by it being really difficult, or they might be like, oh, I like that mechanic, and then they can say why. So, the idea is you want to try and think of something which is going to be bad for the other person, so we all know a bit about each other, so I know what I can say to Nat, which I know Nat won't like, and I know what you don't like, so...
Hey, you have no idea what I don't like.
Oh, I do. Some things, at least. The other part is, even if it's really difficult, just try and think of something.
I have problems finding bad stuff like that. But it can be either it can be something that is just integrated in a game that I find bad. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's just that I have to find it bad.
Yeah, because the thing is, I might find it bad as well. But I mean, obviously, you got Ubisoft. You got the way they find the same like towers to reveal everything. You got COD with jetpacks. You've got zombies as a game type. Maybe pick Battlefield 1.
Okay,
a short campaign. Maybe you pick. There's anything you could pick really. You could be really specific or be really broad. Yeah.
We're dropping frames. Okay.
So, do you want to start and then?
Yeah, I'm busy trying to get the title of the live stream already.
Okay.
You know how hard it is for the PlayStation to do anything when something is loaded.
You should just call it polishing a turd.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Episode number 6. Yeah, 6. Did you have a title in mind, maybe?
Polishing a turd.
Polish a turd, it'll still a turd.
Because you have something bad and you're trying to make it seem good.
What is...
You don't have to go with that, I just... it just came to me.
No. All this...
God damn it, I seem to be in charge of all the titles. I am title man.
I am the apple.
I am title man. Feel my bad grammar.
Yesterday I just did 3 titles, so I'm kind of title out right here. Publishing a... Alright, you'll start off the introduce. You do the introduction, Blazing?
Okay, welcome to our Trip Can Mine Pod number
I
6.
didn't hit broadcast yet. It was a question. Are you doing the introduction? And okay. It's like, you could just say no or yes. I mean, if you want, that's fine. But if you want to say yes, then I
You know what, I'm just gonna bend over and fuck myself like this. No.
I'm gonna hit broadcast.
Don't do it now. No, you didn't broadcast this, and no, it's gone. I've done it.
No, it's not. No, I'm hitting broadcast.
Come on, guys.
Start broadcast. Wait up. Let me see if we're online. So that's always a little bit iffy. Are we online yet? No, I think so. I think yes, we're online.
Okay, welcome to our Mine Pod episode 6, Polishing a Turd. So today we've got myself here, Blazing. You've got Nat.
Hey, sorry.
I'm like cough, line. Then you've also got Inosphere.
Hello. What's up, everybody?
And today we're going to be doing a kind of games, like a game inside a game. It's Gameception today. Well, what we're doing is giving each other bad things in games that either we don't like or we think are really bad.
Oh.
And then the other people have to try and defend them, so make them seem good. And sometimes it's going to be quite easy when you're like, yeah, that's easy, like that's actually a kind of good mechanic, and other times you can be like, oh my god, this thing sucks, why in god did you give me this one? So we'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see indeed.
So I'll go first when picking, so Inosphere. Now, we should all give a brief outline for everyone at home, just tell them what the kind of mechanic is in case they've not played the game. Whenever you play an Ubisoft game, they have the same mechanic in every single game on how to reveal parts of the map. And the way they do that is by making you go up some sort of tower, then normally through some kind of like, you know, climbing challenge. Then as soon as you get to the top, you then press a button, and that then scans the surroundings and the map's revealed. And this happens in the lots and lots of games. My brain just went blank now. I'm trying to think of. You got all the Assassin's Creed games, Far Cry. What was the recent games you had as well? You got even in The Crew, which is a driving game, they still managed to find some way to make you go to some sort of tower. So, Inosphere, why is this a good mechanic?
Best game mechanic ever. That's an awesome mechanic, and they should incorporate it in any other game. That's my stand on that.
What?
Explain why it should be in every game. You're like, this should be in every game. I'm like, well then.
I'm getting to that. I'm first defending that it is a good mechanic. The reason why it's a good mechanic, because if you have an open world game that which your players can just roam and do anything they want to, you want to have a certain kind of Fuck, that's
Yeah.
you want some kind of mechanic that will will make your players alright. That will confine your players to a certain part of the map. That way they can experience the whole everything that is on that part of the map at that time, instead of they going from. Let's take the crew for instance. You could drive all across America. Like you could go from you start off in I think you start off in Detroit. You start off in Detroit, and then you move around to Chicago, New York, Miami. Eventually you end up in Las Vegas, and then you go to what's it called? Los Angeles. Sorry for people who are living in Los Angeles. I couldn't remember. Anyways,
that hot part of the country on one side.
that part there, that city, that big city. Anyways, so before you go to, you can go from Detroit to LA right at the start of the game. So, but then you wouldn't be experiencing everything else in the game. I know in the crew it is not limited to, or you're not limited to it, because the finding the towers and exploring everything that there is in the towers has to offer isn't really a way of saying you know, you can't go here or you can't go there. It is more of a you can go, there is stuff here or there is stuff there. It's more like sorry. It's more like you reveal the entire map, so you'll see stuff that is there. So if you go there, then there is a car park there, or there is a station there, or anything else. So yeah, it's fun. So now if you go there and if you unlock it, you'll see everything. Now you can go to the store, and then you can go to that part, or you can unlock that car part you need for that car that you didn't find, or that rare part that you of that nice car that you want to have. So yeah, it's a good mechanic. I love it.
Okay, now.
Sorry if I was a little bit incoherent there, but.
So Innes just given a incoherent but descriptive explanation. So now I'm now going to ask you to do the exact same for the same mechanic, and if you can do it better, I'll give you the point. So whichever one of you did it better will get the winner point.
Okay.
And we'll just tally up at the end to see who wins, who was the best at polishing the turds.
Well, I would say that mechanic that you were describing,
I was fuck, eh?
I like that as well. I would just prefer that they would, that they would do a little bit more of variation of it. But I like it too, because as Ines first said, you can find your way, and it helps you get an overview if you remember to look at the map. And the fact that it is a tower makes it easier to see, and also you know what you're in for, because it's always the same. It's a brilliant feature.
So you're saying the fact that it's so repetitive and frustratingly dull is actually a good thing?
Yeah, because then you know what you're in for. You know what to look for, right? You know what to look for, because it's always a tower. So, and it's easy to see, because sometimes you have to look for things in... we just play Borderlands, for instance. You have to look for something, and it's just a mystery what the fuck it is that you're looking for, even. And I like the fact that you actually know what you're looking for, because, of course, it's gonna be a tower. And I like that fact, because I am horrible at games, so it helps me out a lot that I know what to look for, and it's a big thing that I'm looking for. And also I like the overview, because otherwise I would just be lost forever and ever and ever in such games. The bigger the map, the more difficulties I have, and well, I didn't want the map to be smaller, so I enjoy the fact that it's big, but I get the help to get on. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna keep it a little bit shorter. Short but precise, or something.
Okay. Who defended that one better?
It's not such a big question.
Sorry.
Fuck me.
So I'm gonna give this one to Nat.
What?
The reason being is she said how it could actually, like, you tried to defend it as a mechanic itself. I do not accept your arguments. Whereas Nat said how it would be good for her, and that kind of makes sense. I kind of get how that if you're bad at directions and things, it'll help you.
There you go.
I do not agree.
So 1
I
point
reject
to
your-
Nat.
Yay!
Well-
I got a point. I didn't suck.
Okay. Well, you just sucked less than an Innisphere. Didn't mean you didn't suck.
Hey.
Oh,
So-
wow.
Hey, don't make this personal. Lose graciously.
I'm fine with that. I didn't want to defend it anyways. Alright, I got one for you, Blazing. Now, most of the time...
Oh, wait, no, wait. You should give it to Nat, because I gave one to you.
Oh, alright, I'm gonna give it to Nat.
You're going to give the same thing to us, so, but you should start with Nat.
I'll start with Nat, sorry. Nat, I have one for you.
Perfectly for you, yeah. You're never going to give it to anyone else, were you?
No, I'll just give it to you, yeah. One thing, there is a trend that's going on lately is games giving you extra content for extra money. Like you have the game and it has a well, it is like the raw version of the game, and if you want to have anything else than the game, like if you want a new gadget, or if you want a new skin for your car or for anything else, and I'm talking right here, you have to pay for it with microtransactions.
Oh, micro, yeah.
Which I find a really annoying mechanic. So yeah.
Well,
defend
it is. I can defend that one because it is good that you actually get to play the game. You get to get it. Oh, yay! A form of a teaser of the game, but in order to have more for the developers to actually earn some money, I think it's gracious that you actually get to try out the game. You actually get to try out the game, but in order to get all of the features that it has, then you have to pay some for the developers, because let's just be honest, otherwise we wouldn't pay a fucking dime to play a game, because it's often the free games that makes you do that stuff. It's rarely the very expensive games, but then we're over in DLCs and stuff, right? So for the extra buys mostly goes for, I think, mobile games, because otherwise people would never try the games if they were too expensive. So if they do the microchipping or what is it called?
Microchipping. Wow.
Not microchipping. What is it called? Fuck. What is it called?
That's a new
thing.
Transactions,
yeah. Then you get to pay like little bits, and you get to decide yourself what you want to pay for. You get to decide yourself what you want to pay for, and you get to try out the game for free. So you get the chance to try the game without paying for the full for like let's say the full game, and at the same time you can get more stuff if you want to pay for it. It makes perfectly nice sense. It is annoying, but it also makes sense, because then otherwise the developers wouldn't earn something, and maybe you can do the game just fine without doing any microtransactions. But if you want the perks in the game, then you need to pay for it. I think it's perfectly fair. So again, trying to keep it a little bit short, but still making my points. Because I think that's exactly it.
But let me cut in there a little bit. I wasn't only talking about free mobile games. Also the big studios use microtransactions in the form of DLCs, whatever. So I find DLCs under a microtransaction. But maybe that was just my fault. So, Blazing, same question for you.
Okay, so one thing is when you release a game, it goes out to the world, and to be honest, with a lot of games, that's kind of the end of it. The guys have made it, they're going to purchase it, but those devs, they're still working, they're still making content, they're still making that delicious pink gun that they're going to charge $1 billion for. And you know what? They deserve a bit of money for that. All that hard work that goes into it, they deserve that kind of money. So by adding the little microtransactions on, you know that £5 that you're spending, that overrated piece of shit you're about to buy, was handcrafted, and you're paying for that developer to keep on making more pink, overpriced stuff. So yeah, I think it's a great mechanic. It's a way of incentivizing people to keep on working so they don't get tired.
So basically, you're saying that it is a form of
Motivation.
job securement?
Yeah, you know, it's not just like... Oh, just to interject for
Wow.
one moment, I don't understand how my towel was completely fucked by that ice thing. It ruined it so that everything it touched fell off, but sorry, continue.
That's ice.
Look at this, every time!
That's ice. Ice, baby.
Baby.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, the difference... Oh, it's still going again! Look at this! Look at this! I can't build on it! Yeah, so like I was saying, it's the thing is, what it does is it gives developers the chance to earn a bit more cash on the side.
And job securement for every programmer that is still working.
Yeah, you know, they get a little bit more work. They're not done with the thing, and you know, it's a little bit of cash on top. I think that's a good way of incentivizing. And you know what? You've already got your game. You've got all the features you need. Everything else is extra.
Nat is saying that she likes the game, she likes the mechanic because else she wouldn't have played one of the other games. Because the games are shite, but she likes to pay money for it, so... Alright, I'm giving it to Blazing. Because I think job securement is and unemployment is a serious issue. So.
I mean, okay, perfect. So I've now put the point in my sector, so I've officially claimed the point. I don't think this actually does give them jobs, but I'll take the points anyway.
I think mine was more honest and more legit. It worked out better, but I will accept it.
You must accept it. There's no choice here.
Oh fuck.
We weren't talking about honesty or this is a debate about the mechanics.
Oh, but I thought my points were better.
Well, I thought mine were better.
That's
mine were
okay.
clearly more convincing.
Definitely. Oh.
So, Nat, it's now your turn to put one on me.
Oh
I can't think
yeah.
of a better way of putting that.
Yeah, but Innisfree kind of took mine. Give me just like 2 seconds here. So I'm gonna lose this. I need to focus on even this game. Man, I'm out. Okay.
Peace.
A bad thing about a game that always is there. Oh, I would say the mechanics in a game that like fighting mechanics and stuff. Some games makes it like a mission to figure out what the fuck you're doing and why you're doing it and how you're using your stuff. So bad tutorials in games. Why is that a good thing? Is it supposed to make the game more exciting or what?
A bad tutorial. Do you mean a brief tutorial?
Yeah, no, not a brief. Like some games you literally have to figure everything out yourself. And it's just a very difficult like mechanics that you have to figure out. Like take for instance Bloodborne or Neo or any of those games. There's a lot of shit to it, and it's just difficult to figure out if you haven't played it before. So you have to spend hours and hours figuring out what the game is about. You get the gist?
Okay.
You get the juice?
Yep. So the reason why that is a very, very good mechanic is you don't want things spoon-fed to you, do you? You know, you want to discover things. So if you have a tutorial that teaches you how to do everything, then you're missing out on half the fun. Like it's when you play a game like Bloodborne or Neo, half the point in the game it's supposed to be fucking difficult. This game is supposed to be infuriatingly hard. So if the tutorial went around and taught all of it, it would take out half the challenge. And what would be the point in you buying a game where the challenges are already kind of done? So I think with those games especially, it shouldn't have a tutorial. It's designed not to. With some other games that have brief tutorials, it's just a kind of thing of they want you to experience it. They want you to try and error. Too many games nowadays spoon-feed it. They turn around and say to you, you know what, this you have to do it this way. Like, I'm going to force you to understand this tutorial. The tutorial is letting you kind of find it out this way. It's more engaging. Like, you don't need the brain teaser things on, like, Nintendo. It's like something to test your brain. It's to get you kind of thinking about it. It's a brain teaser is what it is. I mean, do you really want baby's first game where it tells you everything? Hell no. You want to be a proper adult. You want to be someone who can sit there and work out all yourself, because you are smart, and the game knows you can do it. It doesn't want to spoon feed you anything.
And Innisphere.
It's kind of hard to defend that when Blazing just sold exactly what I wanted to say.
Aha!
No!
Suck it, second place. This is what you get for going second. Ha! Ha! That's kind of the point. If you end up going second, you can't really use the same argument as the first person. So going second sucks.
So the reason I think it's a good mechanic that you jump in and you do have to figure out everything for yourself, because that way you build up muscle memory.
You build up what?
Muscle memory. You learn like if you have a baby, you don't give it a book and say you have to do this and this and this. No, you let him figure it out for himself, you know. And it's the same with gamers. You have to let them engage in the game so that when they start the game and when they start playing, they evolve with the game. They get into the game. The game becomes their life. So yeah, you know, if you would do something, you're better at it when you figure it out for yourself than if someone says, here, I'm gonna do it for you. You know? Yeah, that's why it's a good mechanic, because it teaches you, it gives you muscle memory, it gives you the thing you need to defeat that difficult game, because the game itself is so difficult that it needs to train you. It's like the game is like Mr. Miyagi in the Karate Kid. That's why it's there.
Okay. So I actually think Innisphere nailed that one better, because he wanted to say the same thing as Blazing, but he went with something a little bit slightly different, not that much different, but Blazing's point was actually that he didn't want to get spoon-fed, whereas Innisphere kind of went over a little bit more with saying that it was you would get better at the game than you would if you had it all fed. So for the experience itself, or for your skills, that they would become better by teaching it trial and error wise. And Blazing was more about that he didn't want to, he meant that his point was that it would take half the game away from you. So I think Innisphere actually nailed that one.
Yay! I got a point. I want a point. Yes.
Is someone actually taking care of the points?
Yep. Yeah, I'm taking.
Yeah, I got points. Unless you didn't say, what are you? Hello?
Yeah?
Yep, are you doing them or am I doing them?
Oh, I don't care. We're going to do both do them. That way we keep each other honest.
Double sets of points. Aha! Question marks for everyone.
Yeah, I don't mind question marks.
Okay, so the next one, I guess, would be for me to give to Nat. I gave one to Innisphere last time, didn't I, first? Then Nat.
Oh!
Oh
shit.
My god!
Yeah, yep. Nope.
No! Hold!
Nope.
No! No!
Yep.
Sorry.
I almost had that. Yeah, so we might tend to give another question, and I get the Innisford last one, so this one I'll give it to Nat first. So, the next one you need to defend is having all the traditional shooters now having some form of super fast jetpack that has changed all the combat and kind of recently moved the series away from the traditional routes. So the last Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is now all full of jetpacks, and this was Advanced Warfare, whereas previously the series was not. And this has now caused it to have poor ratings, and overall a much, as critics would say, a much worse game. But why is this a good step in the direction for the series?
Oh, it is so good, because if you come into a game like that as a newbie, like I am always, again, I can only speak from my own experience, I can actually use this, because all of the gamers that were so good at the traditional shooters games without the jetpacks, they now have to, should we say, start over, becoming good at handling the jetpacks, as if, well, I have to learn all of the other basic stuff, but they have to now struggle with the jetpacks. That gives new players like a perk, because the older players who would be very good at the game, they are still very good at the game, but they also have some new stuff to learn all of a sudden. Oh, and that gives me a little bit of a better chance if I put my head into the game. So it also adds some new stuff to it. So those that have given it bad ratings, it's probably just because they don't like that the game changes, because then they can't continue dominating. So fuck me. So I think it's a good thing to try something new, because otherwise, well, all of the games would just stay the same. So of course there will always be haters, but there would also be haters if the game didn't evolve anywhere. If it was just all the same, then again, why even buy new games? So it's a good thing with the jetpacks. It gives the game more life, and in several dimensions even, because it adds sort of a dimension to the game, that you can now almost like double jump forever, or like infinite boost, or something like, yeah, the jetpack there. So it's a good thing. Yep, that's it.
Alright, Innisford, you're up.
Well, dude, what more do you need to say but jetpacks? Fucking jetpacks. I mean, come on. We've been dreaming about jetpacks for like ages. Like, man wants to have jetpacks. Look at a Rocketeer. He had a jetpack. He was cool. Why wouldn't you want to have a jetpack on your back and jumping around and shooting people? I mean, come on, it's a no-brainer. It is cool. Why would you want to be on the ground, running around, holding a gun? Why you can do it while jumping in the air, having a jetpack and jumping even further and better and higher, and wow, man, come on, jetpacks. That's the only argument there is jetpacks. That's it.
All right. The
Very
point
short,
goes
I know,
to
but jetpacks.
goes to Innisford. The reason being is I do not believe it was a right step in the correct direction for Infinite Warfare, and I don't believe it did put people on a more even ground. It actually made it life harder for newbies because they were unfamiliar with it. So back to jetpacks. That's cool. That wins it.
Well, I agree. It didn't really give me an advantage, but
Well,
I had to say something.
I mean,
right.
I don't think we clarified at the start, but I'll mention it for the viewers out there. These are not actual true reflections of our opinion. I must stress, because some of the things I will say, I do not actually believe in, but it's a game, okay? You may have to embellish it, lie, and
Come on, jetpacks. You gotta be on board with that. I mean,
oh, I mean,
if
your phrasing
could
of
go
it
to
was
work
the
in a
only thing
jetpack,
there.
you would go to work in a jetpack, right?
Oh, fuck off! I go to work in a jetpack. I want to set fire to my suit. You're literally riding a massive explodable canister. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
It's a jetpack. It's a jetpack. How could you not like a jetpack? Didn't you
I
see
didn't
James
like
Bond
it. I
in
just said I
jetpack?
didn't want to ride in one.
Man, so bad.
What about carpooling? How would I take my colleagues to work? Do you just sit on the back like a, hunchback like I'm carrying the Hobbit to Isengard? Get on my back.
I'm taking the hobbits to Isengard.
Just a picture of me sitting there with a jetpack and a hobbit on the back, like.
For the
like, yes, Mr. Frodo. Okay,
All
so
right.
next in line. Oh,
I
that's
have one for
such a-
blazing.
okay.
You have to defend the entire genre of open world gaming.
Oh,
I mean, it is the best. No, it is the worst genre out there. Really? I mean, why would you want to have an open world game? It's dumb. It's stupid. It is. Blah. So, go.
go.
So open world gaming, it gives you a freedom which you can't experience in other types of video games. The whole point of having the open world game is that you can do what you like. When they set you out in that world, it's pretty much you do whatever the fuck you damn well please. And that's just something you can't experience in other games. Other games are linear, they force you into some sort of shoehorned game, and it's like, that's not what I want to play. Like, I want to do whatever I want to do. If I want to go out there and fly a jet into a sun, I'm going to damn well do it. You know, if I want to go out there into the world and, I don't know, set fire to things, if it's GTA, maybe bang some hookers, I don't know, drive my car off a cliff, you can do whatever the hell you like, and there's no one to sit there and turn around and go, no, you can't do that. And that's just something you just can't do with other genres. The other advantage is it allows for a lot more freedom in the art design, because they can design different things. They haven't got to think about it like, oh no, it's not going to fit within what we have planned for this level. They can just whack it in there, because the whole thing is, but by it being an open world, you can do whatever the hell you like. So yeah, I think open world games are bloody fantastic. What they do is give you freedom, which you just don't have in other games. And by adding it into other linear type of games, it gives the franchises a new feeling. Games which originally felt tired and lame, all of a sudden they've got a new outlook on life because they have a completely different way of playing it. Something which they probably sorely needed.
Alright. Matt, you're up.
The good thing about open world
It's not an
games.
answer.
The good thing about open world games is definitely that you can manage to turn even space into something funny, because and you can just feel how much time the developers has spent creating the game, because it literally takes different codes for every environment that you're gonna face. And let's take No Man's Sky for instance. You can go wherever you want, do whatever you want, and you can explore. Like every YouTuber that I see make a playthrough, they're like, I want to explore, I want to spend more time exploring in this area. Now in open world games you get to explore whatever the fuck you want, and you can really feel how much time the developers has put into creating this universe, because it's not just like a planned thing. It's not only like planned events and cutscenes. They can't anticipate what you're gonna do, so they have to plan the entire universe for you, so that so that you have the freedom to do whatever you want. That's the true perk of open world games, is that you feel the developer's fantasy, even though you have the freedom to do whatever you want, even though you can still feel the developer's fantasy. Yeah, that's it.
I have to make a decision.
I couldn't say the same as Blazing.
I think this one. No. You weren't. I think you were both were close, but I think we should add another round to this one, because this was too. This one is too close to call. I cannot choose between the two of you now. But you both made some good points.
Okay, we'll pick another thing about open world, like something linked to it.
Into open world.
So pick something which is a characteristic of open world, and get us to say why that characteristic in particular. So being specific here, because obviously we're very broad with open world games. So now let's be
No, but that was my point. It's the entire genre of open world. You should defend that it is a good game. Which no, I'm sticking to the original one. You should specify better what you meant.
Huh?
No, it was too close.
So you need to give the point to someone.
No, you need to specify better.
What do you mean what do you mean specify better? Elaborate.
Yes, no, you need to elaborate on your answers. So basically,
what
what
sense?
you
What are you
were
looking
saying,
for?
Blazing. Wait, Blazing, you were saying the open world games are good because the freedom you have, and Nat said open world were good because they because of the creativity of the creators, right?
Yeah, and still with freedom. So yeah, both of them, both things.
Yeah. So what are you expecting from us? I'm not really sure what you want.
No, right. No, I was just thinking about both of your answers. I needed time to think. I'm gonna give it to Nat.
Ah, you bastard.
Hey!
Nope. You had your chance.
No,
I'm
I
gonna
asked
give
you
it
to go into more detail. That's
Nope,
cheating. You can't be like
giving it to
that
Nat.
and then
Nat,
change
you
your
get the point,
answer.
Nat, congratulations. You made your point.
No, I quit. We're done. New game. And this is breaking rules.
Nope. This is
Making shit
up
up.
rules.
Oh,
Nat,
fuck,
it's your turn.
Oh,
Nat has 2 points, I am 2 points, and Blazing, you have 1 point.
yeah,
Should pay attention.
okay, so I wanna ask, so what is the good thing about indie games? Like, they always look cheap and and it's like half developed, most of them are like half developed games. What are the cool stuff about indie games why not just wait and only have big AA games? What is the good thing about indie games? In
Alright,
general,
well-
now that we just talked about open world games in general.
The best thing about indie games is price, because you don't have to pay as much for a good game, and the all indie games or most indie games are more creative. Like every single AA game out there is a rip-off of another single game which already exists. So, for example, you got GTA, then you got Just Cause, now you have The Division, or you're gonna have Ghost Recon, which is also open world. They're just rip-offs of each other. Then you have Call of Duty, and you got Battlefield, and all those kind of games. It's all one big homogeneous blob of games, and they charge a whole fucking lot for them. You have to pay top dollar to even own a game, and then if it comes out, the only thing an AA studio does is make you pay for a broken game, because we all know when a game is printed on the disc, it is basically the beta version that is printed on that disc. So even if you have the game, if you're gonna buy the game, you're gonna install the game, and then you'll have to wait for the update to be downloaded and installed, which most of the time for an AA game is like a couple of gigs. Indie games don't have that. Indie games work. People who are making indie games, they have heart for the game. They make the game good. They test their game fairly. No, not fairly. They test their game pretty decent, and then they bring it out, and you have a playable, fun, original game to play. That's why we love indie games, because they're fun, original games which doesn't cost top dollar, and you still have all the fun you had when, you'll have much more fun with an indie game than you have with an yeah, that's it.
Okay, Blazing.
Okay, well, so the main thing with indie games is the element of risk that they can take, because as you say, that because they have a lower price point, they are able to take risks that AAA games just can't do. So when you've got games which have to go to their shareholders, they've got to please a certain type of thing, they must fit in microtransactions, they must do this, they must do Y, the game gets rushed out the door early. Whereas with an indie game, because it's done by traditionally a small team for a lower development cost, they can turn around and say, you know what, let's do that. Will it work? Fuck knows, but we'll give it a go. They can look at a more niche audience, because at the end of the day, when it's something which you're selling to a specific audience based on the fact of its unique features, you've got to apply to the mass market, and that means that it allows them to take greater risks and come up with more creative content. So it's just a bit more of an amazing thing to view. Without indie games, the industry would be surely would be dramatically lacking, because that creativity is required nowadays, and it's less so in the kind of older generations where people were doing it out of their goodness of their heart rather than their wallets. But nowadays, because obviously most of them are companies, most of them are assholes to say the least, it's just good to have that refreshing bit in the marketplace. When you're sick of your AAA game, you can switch to a indie game and get a little bit of refreshment. And I think it's just really great that we have that as an option, that you're not forced to go and buy the next EA game, the next Ubisoft game. There are other options out there. Yeah, sometimes they can be a little bit, not the highest quality, or they can make a misstep, but at least they're trying. They're actually wanting to do something different, and that's what I like. The other point with indie games, which I think are also great, is how they can take something which you thought was already great and then change it. So you've got like a normal platformer which has been done to death, and then you get something like Limbo, which then has such a different spin that would never get greenlit through an AAA process, can go straight into the store and become a Game of the Year contender.
Okay. I think Innosphere's biggest point was the price. And I think it's pretty obvious who won this, because I think Blazing actually pleaded a very good case there. So I actually think Blazing won this fair and square. Yeah, definitely. We had a very deep felt deep felt
fuck, eh?
Opinion there.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna start throwing mud, but AAA indie game doesn't mean cheap. There's The Witness is an indie game. That's 40 fucking quid. That thing ain't cheap at all. Traditionally, yeah, you think of cheap, but it doesn't mean indie doesn't mean cheap.
Nope.
I know.
But I felt like trying to insult your opinion would only lower my own argument.
Whoa.
no, indie doesn't mean cheap.
It probably would have done. That probably would have been like, well, you're starting to fight with the argument.
I was trying for the most obvious thing, like most indie games are cheap. Most indie game, if you look at the Steam library where a lot of indie games reside, it's one big pile of garbage there. So a lot of indie games aren't that good. There are a couple of gems there, but there's a lot of stuff that is being brought out.
But that's the good thing about indie games, is that you can
How is
find
my tower
everything.
still going?
I don't know.
So, what do you say, Nat?
That is the true good thing about indie games, that you can find literally everything, and it ranges from pure shit to gems like Inside and Limbo.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
but
is unfortunate now that... Oh, sorry, you go.
I don't think that is good about indie games, because if there is a lot of shit being brought out, the entire industry will suffer from that, because people will say, okay, that's an indie game, that's probably going to be shite, because 90% of the indie games are bad, so probably what you're bringing out here as an indie game is also going to be bad. So there should be some kind of quality control there.
Okay.
So
Well, I think that's
example-
actually the thing I do like in reality. Sorry, Blazing.
No, I was going to say only with that is, obviously, if you look at Steam Greenlight, and I showed Insis some games that are on the PlayStation Store, where they've obviously not been QC'd, and they're fucking terrible. So indie games allows the opportunity to have some fantastic experiences. Unfortunately, when you have unchecked indie games, i.e. no one to even check that the games run, or even like, I don't mean decent, but actually like, you can actually run the game without it crashing, that is kind of a problem in my opinion.
Yeah,
And
but
that's
that's
one
not,
we've
that's
got to in
not
our
nothing
industry.
with the actual indie games. That's something about the industry that there should be something preventing that. That's I feel.
AAA games, AAA games can't do that. Indie games can. So I think that is a problem with. You're right. It is a problem with the industry, but it is a problem that is with indie games. Like they're kind of entwined, unfortunately.
But that's a risk. Yeah. But it is a bad thing. I do. Oh fuck.
So
Well, that
so
was
it's,
me, so it must be industry.
2-2-2.
yeah, we've done a full round again.
We all have 2 points.
No, why would you do that?
What enemy? I didn't do that.
So I'll throw out another one then for us to discuss. So, as someone who lives in a place with very shitty internet, in our current industry, where there is a habit of, well, not a habit, it's how games are currently released with a day one patch. What it means is the game releases, and then normally the first thing you've got to do is download an update from the Sony store before you can play your game, referred to traditionally as a day one patch. So, please tell me why this is such a great idea,
Oh,
because
no.
devs seem to love it.
It's just
Isn't it my turn to go first? No, it's Innisphere, actually, sorry.
Oh, alright. Why is this good? Well, this is good, cause I mean,
There is one reason I'm looking for.
this is a no-brainer. Right? This is really a no-brainer. Come on. This is good, cause
It's a very beating around the tree here. I'm deducting points.
I have a cough. Sorry.
Nah, you haven't even spoke yet, and you're already looking good.
Oh, this no, doesn't even. All right. Anyways, no, it is
Remember
good.
when you changed and broke the rules? No, I'm serious. Go for it.
All right. Why is it good to have a day one patch? Because, you know, during testing, stuff comes up, which is kind of unforeseen issues can arise. And as a big AAA studio, you have to deal with deadlines. So when you're creating a big game and the deadline is set, the team they're hard working. Well, they're working hard to make the deadline and to give you the best game possible. But sometimes the deadline, you know, they work towards the deadline, and then the deadline is there, and most of the time they're not really done. But the game is finished to an extent that they can bring it out, but you just need that couple of 2 days of time to make it better for you. So as a gamer, it is good because then you will have the best experience there is for the game. I have no idea. I kind of tucked myself into a corner right here. So yeah, it is good.
Right. It is good. Such a well, eloquently argued point.
No, it is not. I know.
It's alright, the bar has been set very high now.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a sign that they couldn't stop. they couldn't stop developing on it, and they needed to just bring that last piece of shit, that last stuff with them in the game, and that's why you're getting that. Also, as a price for buying the game, you now can have something extra that you get to download. Just to test out your fucking internet speed and to show prestige on how fast you can get to download that. That's definitely the fucking perk about that shit. Nope.
Yeah,
Wow.
it is good.
Wow. Guys, I mean, wow.
Hey.
fucking pick
It
here.
was a try. Hey.
It's like, oh man, I wish I could give you neither of you points for that one.
No. We did great.
Oh, wow. Oh.
We did fucking awesome.
I mean, you did something, alright?
Yeah. Isn't that the
mate.
whole point? We need to do something.
Wow. Where do we go from here? It's
Yeah.
definitely the most difficult one yet.
You picked the subject.
I didn't realize it was going to be so terrible. So, another question to ask you guys in relation to my point, because so far it's such a difficult, close lineup here. I really just needed one more bit of information.
Oh no. Innosphere, why did you add that feature to this game? Why?
Which feature?
That we
Adding.
should elaborate and add.
So,
yeah, sorry.
to kind of make that more clear, if a game, now this is a 50-50 thing here, I want to see what you think. Should a game either come out with a day one patch, or should it be delayed till it's complete?
So sorry again. Sorry. Is it?
So the fact is, a day one patch means that instead of delaying it, they release it. Why is this good, rather than delaying it?
Because
Either you jump in, it's a free for all.
You'll have the what's it called?
Because you'll have the game earlier, man. You'll have the game at the time, in time, right? At the time that they promised. So they keep their promise, even though it will
But I
take a
can't
little
play
bit
it.
longer. Yeah, you can. It's just that you have a sucky internet. The rest of the world don't. But they still give you the opportunity to have the game. They can't help if some people have bad internet, so it's a good thing. Definitely a good thing. Instead of making people that could download it fast wait a day longer just to make it fair for all. You know, I think that's a good thing. Definitely, that's a good thing, and that's the true perk about those releases. The
Alright, point
first
goes to
patches.
Innosphere.
Oh fuck! Why?
Well, you have a very valid point, but insulting my internet? What? To other people,
That's
you're
not
like,
a
"Oh,
valid
it's great for other-
reason.
it's great for
Innosphere
other
couldn't even
people."
defend it.
Yes, but you defended it badly. You're like, oh well, your internet sucks, but good for everyone else. It's supposed to be why it's good for me.
So you want the game to actually get out later?
I'd rather it be complete because I'd be able to play it quicker.
Well, I do
So
agree on
while
that.
your
It's
point
fucking
is
annoying.
completely valid, Nat, you had a very good point. Unfortunately, you threw me under the bus.
Aw, get over it.
Oh,
Well, I definitely
That
I hate those I hate those patches. I really hate them. And so
Oh,
this
yeah, I mean,
was
I-
actually a fucking annoying question, which you also had warned us about. So I loved it. Pretty nice. It's
Well, I mean,
pretty
the
funny.
thing is, the day one patches, I think are a good thing. They they get the patch out right away, get things corrected. They couldn't get changed before release. Awesome. The downside though is I can't remember which game it was, but there's one of them that had a 12 gigabyte patch. What the fuck were you patching in at 12 gig? Like your day one patch should be like a gig or two at most. 12 gigs, dude. You left out fucking chunks of the game at that point.
I have a comment here. Big studios should know how long it will take to make a game and then stick to the release date. And if the game is not ready for release at that date, it says something about the developers. And the game should not have so many bugs and glitches in betas. Betas should be the last fine polish. It's just a comment that I got. Just as we're actually having some viewers and their opinions, I just wanted to bring it in since it's an open kind of thing that we're doing. Something.
Well, the thing is with
I don't think
betas
the
is
beta-
betas are wrong. Betas are done wrong. I'll explain what I mean in a second. If you want to say something, didn't you?
Well, betas are there for bug reporting. I mean, if you, how else can you test a game, an online game, if you haven't brought out a beta? So the beta should be a a state or a version of the game that isn't working properly, ideally you want to have it work properly, but you don't. There are so many factors there that yeah. Yeah, betas are fine. I think betas are good how they come out. I think it's wrong the way they bring out betas right now, because the betas are brought out like a couple of days or a couple of weeks before the actual game is released. So that means all the faults that they do find in the beta will be there on disk, because well, the game is already being printed and being distributed to the source. So I think the way they handle the beta right now is that's the problem here.
My problem with betas is the fact that they don't actually take a lot of it under consideration. So key thing for EA and Battlefield is every time Battlefield comes out, they have a beta. Every single time for Hardline 1, the servers are overloaded at the beta launch. So the thing is, that tells the developer, okay, I need to get some more servers, I need to make sure we've got the room to accommodate all the players on launch. And every fucking time they fuck it up and don't do it. Or equally, they have the betas and people discover glitches and they're not patched. So I find betas are used very irresponsibly, and the problem is with betas is they're given at such a late, like Innisford said, at such a late stage. I feel alpha and beta stage need to be moved before they're released, a lot closer into development, where if there's any fundamental problems, it can be changed. So by the time you're actually given public opinion, it's normally way too late for anything to be changed. People are like, yeah, it sucks, and you're like, well, sorry guys, I know it sucks, but we've already run with it. So like, what you got? Tough.
Yeah, and that's where day one patches come in right now.
Well, I
And
do
that-
have a
that's
comment
what they-
more.
And that's
after.
what they should. That's what they should change. I mean, if you really want the community to be engaged in your game, and you really want them to have a voice in the end product, and or in all the bug reporting, then you should indeed move the alphas and the beta way up the chain of production, instead of moving it way back till the release date. But that doesn't really make any sense.
Alpha is to see if the game works in general, and closed betas is to see if the changes from alpha is working, and the open betas are open to stress test the game servers. So open betas should mostly represent the finished games.
But that's not actually how things work.
No,
Be nice
I
if it
also
did,
think
but-
that it's how he thinks it should work, I guess.
Well, yeah, alphas are released way too late into the game cycle. So by the time alphas release, it's already too fucking late to make any changes. And closed betas, normally there isn't actually much change between a closed beta and the real beta. Open beta, sorry. Literally nothing to change. I'd love if it did, but I don't think I've ever played a closed beta and an open beta where I've sat down and thought, oh, they listened to the community. Instead, I'm like, no, still fucking broken. And it happens game after game after game after game, and it's just depressing. So betas actually piss me off more than anything. In fact, I try not to play betas because all I do is I get a bad opinion of the game, then I play it, and I'm like, oh, they haven't fixed it. God damn you, stupid dev. Like, it makes me view devs worse.
Did we get to play all the rounds, or how were anyone missing? Did we all get
I
to?
think in theory we'd have another 2 rounds and things, but I think we can wrap it up. I think it's been a good pod so far. Before we start
Did
getting
all
into
have
some really
equal
random ones.
amounts of goes? Is what I mean.
No, Blazing Head is. Oh no.
No, Blazing
I
had one more.
technically.
Yeah.
Yes, Blazing had the deciding factor. So Blazing Blazing gave me the point, so I have now 3 points. Oh.
Okay. Well, then we got it settled actually.
I win.
You win.
You win the first round of polishing a turd. This is our now
Polishing a
coined trademark game type. Polishing a turd. I'm sure we'll revisit this in the future because I enjoyed it.
Polishing. We're gonna polish some more turds in the future.
let me root around and get me some more turds.
Haha, bitches, I won the last round of this.
Yeah, I know. My tower got fucked somehow.
Yeah, he's just specifying just for the this I don't know. He would just like to specify that this is how he think alphas and betas should be used. That would work for him, I guess. That's what he thinks. So it's not how they are functioning, but it's how he thinks they should be functioning.
Who are you talking to?
Well, it's one of the viewers of the stream, and I just wanted to get his voice through because it would be nice if we had more viewers.
Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry,
It would be
not
nice
of the
if
Trip
we
My
had.
stream.
It would be
Sorry.
nice if we had more
On the wrong stream.
viewers to come and participate in this, and that's why I'm streaming it on my channel as well. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's wrap it up.
I think this was fun. What did you guys?
Yeah, I liked it. I'm sure we'll revisit it again.
I
More
won,
turds to
so
punch.
I'm ecstatic. Hey.
Well, thank you guys out there for watching.
Yeah.
And you've been viewing Blazing Steel, Innisphere, and Natpigen. And I'm sure Innisphere will whack all of our lovely channel descriptions down in the box below. If you want to listen to us talk more shit about gaming, you can find more Tripcasts in the playlist probably on the right hand side. And if you want to see more of us, tune in each Sunday. If you tune in during the week, you'll probably find updated content from Nat and Innisphere. If you want to see me, I might do something during the week, or you might have to wait till next Sunday. Or you'll still see me on their streams.
Oh yeah,
Again, thanks for
you're a
watching.
regular. Yeah. If you guys have any other comments, suggestions, or you just want to say hi, or you just want to talk to us, or you want to hate on us, you can do that as well. Drop it down below in the comment section as well. And we would like it if you drop us a like, so you know if you liked it or not. So some feedback would be nice. Yeah, I think we're done.
And just if you're thinking, what can you do now? I'm sure me and Innisphere will jump on some games, and Nat will be heading off. So we'll see you all together again next Sunday, potentially maybe during the week if we go out together. Yeah.
Alright. It was fun.
It was fun, guys.
Yay! I won! Yay!
Hey,
Anyway,
hey.
My idea wasn't shit.
Of course it wasn't.
Everyone have a good evening. And we hope to see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Alright, bye!
Bye. Wizard out.
We're out. Wizard out?
Hi,
Who's the
Blue.
winner? I win!
Bye, Blue.